Okay, so hi everyone. Today we're going to be talking about paper one questions from this chapter, which is linear law. Okay, and before the holidays, we already established the fact that any straight line graph, okay, any straight line graph, whether it's this way or this way, okay, can be summarized into a general form, which we know dari dulu-dulu lagi we know this to be y equals to mx plus c. Okay, but our task now in Form 5 admits is to change a complicated equation. For example, y equals to 3x squared minus 2. We want to change this into linear form because this kind of graph actually is like this. Okay, this is a non-linear graph. We want to change this to become this. Okay, so linear law is all about transforming a non-linear equation to a linear equation, which means that kita punya y dan x we cannot kongkongkan, kita tidak boleh kongkongkan into dia mesti y dan dia mesti x. Okay, so I usually like to teach students to remember that the general form for any linear law is actually the y-axis equals to gradient multiplied by the x-axis plus the c. C we all know is the y-intercept. That's normal. Okay, and m and c are numbers that we can fill in. Okay, that's the first thing that we learned before the holidays. Secondly, I also established the fact that the shape of the graph, okay, whether the graph goes this way or the graph goes this way, tells us the kind of value for m. Okay, and I just want to mention once again, if the graph is going this way, then kita mesti tahu that m is a negative number. Because all this kind of small information helps us, when we do the actual work later. Okay, and then if the graph is going this way, okay, then we know that the m is a positive number. Okay, if anytime you feel like you forgot, okay, just raise your two hands, because your two hands are this way, right? So tangan ke kiri, this is negative, because kiri is negative. And tangan ke kanan, okay, it's positive because m is positive. Okay, so if you ever forget whether this way or this way is positive or negative, just raise both your hands. Okay, you can dance in the exam hall. Okay, nobody cares on. Okay, as long as you don't copy each other. Okay, so that's the first thing. So, and then of course, the value of c, you know that it's negative or positive depending on where it cuts the y-intercept. Kalau dia potong y-intercept di atas, then we know that c is positive. Okay, and if it cuts like somewhere here, like this, okay, then we know that c is a negative number. Okay, so all this kind of small information daripada graph, we can know what to expect. And daripada, let's say for example this, daripada ini kan, we also know where to expect. So before the holidays, we were talking about several funky equations. For example, xy equals to negative 2x plus 4. Okay, let's say this is this one. So I want to establish this, that remember that whatever it is, okay, this one is y-axis. Okay, and then this one obviously is x-axis. Okay, I can change the shape if I want. It can be xy equals to 4 minus 2x. Okay, it doesn't change the fact that this is y-axis. Okay, and this one will be x-axis. Okay, so y-axis equals to m, x-axis plus c can also be y-axis equals to c plus m, x-axis. Doesn't matter. Okay, just remember, don't the first number must be the gradient. No, not necessary. The first number can be the c, depending on how you arrange. Okay, it's always more important to identify the two axes. Okay, so coming back to this equation, let's talk about this equation first. Okay, xy equals to minus 2x plus 4. Okay, from this one, I can basically kind of gauge where my what kind of graph I'm supposed to expect. The first thing is the axis. Okay, y-axis is xy, x-axis is x. My intercept is positive 4. And because it is a negative number, okay, the last thing the gradient is a negative number. So you need to think, okay, negative number gradient means saya punya garis ke sini ke sini? Oh, sorry, ke sini. Okay, Obviously, negative is to the left. So we're thinking like this. Alamak. Fine, something like that. Lah. Okay. So this is how my graph is supposed to look like. Okay. This kind of information helps you later when we answer paper 2 questions. So that kau teragak-agak, betul tak saya punya graph ini? Okay. Look at the equation because the equation will help you. Okay. Let me give you another example before I move on. Okay. Another example, let's say I give you another super funky one now. Let's say log 10y equals to negative 4, the one hasil negative, 4 and then 1 over x plus minus 3, contohnya. Okay, log 10y equals to 4 times 1 over x minus 3. Now, again, look at the form. Okay, look at the form. And we know that this will be the y-axis. This one will be the x-axis. Okay, so let's plot it out lah. Okay, kita lakarkan dulu. This one will be log 10y. This one will be 1 over x. Okay, then what other pieces of information do we have? The c. C is minus 3. Okay, so it's supposed to be like this, minus 3. Lastly, the gradient sign will tell you whether it is going to the right or to the left. And since this is a positive one, it's going to go to the right. So our graph should look like this. Something like this. Okay? And actually, you can work yourself the other way around. Okay, kamu boleh kasih terbalik ini. Okay, which brings me to handout 2. Okay, question number 2. Okay, sorry, handout 2, question number 2. Okay, I'm going to start by doing this. So we are doing from here to here, and now what we're going to do is we're going to do terbalik. Okay, we're going to look at the graph. We're going to try to form the equation as it is. Okay, first, okay, so in your handout number 1, okay, question 2A, I'm going to start from there. You are given the graph. I remember I answered this during the tutorial, but it's okay, I'm going to answer it anyway. Our graph is here. This is log 10y. This is x. This is minus 3. And then, okay, there's a small slip up here. Di sini sepatutnya. Okay, 5 and negative 2. Hey, sorry, negative 5 and 2. A mistake. Negative 5 and 2. Okay, I know on the diagram dia cakap ini point di sini, but actually it's wrong because it doesn't make sense kalau dia di sini. Okay, so this is negative 5 and 2. Okay, let's take a look at the graph and tell me what we know that we can put inside. Okay, the first thing is we know what is the y-axis. So kita masuk saja. Log 10y. Okay, equals to, do we know what is the gradient? Not yet, but don't worry. Okay, we can find it out later. Okay. What is the x-axis? X-axis is x. Wow, so nice. Okay, the intercept is given as negative 3. So we put it in as negative 3. So to complete this, okay, we need to find the gradient. And gradient is something that kita sudah cari dari form 4 lagi. Okay, gradient equals to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Okay, and in this case, kita diberi 2 titik sudah. Okay, negative 5 and 2, and this one will be 0 and negative 3. Okay, kalau saya masukkan 2 minus negative 3 over negative 5 minus 0. Okay, this will give you negative 1. Okay, so since my m is negative 1, I can say that this will be log 10y equals to negative 1x minus 3. Okay, this is my equation for this. But saya belum habis jawab soalan. I'm just telling you how to build the equation first from the information given in the graph. It is a very important skill that you need to learn. Okay. Once you have built the equation, then you can terbalikkan. Because in question number 1, okay, in question number 1, we were doing from y and then jadi log y. Now you need to know how to do it the other way around. Okay, log y will become this. Okay, so I'm going to rub this off and show you. So since this is negative 1, I'm going to hilangkan the 1 because it's the same anyway. And how do I make log 10y become y? Is I need to remember the index, the relationship between index form and log form. Okay, index form is y equals to a x to the power of n. Sorry. my fault, sorry. X to the power of n. Okay, this is index form. Okay, log form. Okay, kalau saya transform pergi log form, this will become log. Okay, this x will be power, base of x. Okay, y equals to. You know what? I'm going to change the letter because the x and the y is very confusing. I'm going to use this as a. Okay, and then I'm going to use this as z lah. Okay, katakan. Okay. So if this is index form, if I transform it to become log form, this will be log to the base of a z equals to n. Okay, an easy way to remember how to change between index form and log form is to remember that this is the base. Okay, this is the base in index form, and this is the base in log form. Okay, so now look at this shape and look at this. Okay, log a z equals to yada 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 n. Okay, so if I'm going to change it back into index form, sebab tujuan saya adalah saya mau dapatkan y sebagai kepala rumus. I want y to be the subject head, not log 10y. I want y only. So in order for me to do that, I need to bring the log over. So this will be y equals to, okay, look at this 10. Since it's the base in the log, when I change it back to index form, it will become the base, n. Okay, and then this whole thing here, which is the n, okay, becomes the power, minus x minus 2. And this is your final answer. Okay, changing from log into index form is a skill that we need to properly master in this chapter. Okay, because there are a lot of questions that melibatkan log. Okay, so we need to know how to change between these two. So it's a good idea, maybe after this class, okay, you can go back and open to the chapter of index and log and just do a couple of exercises on changing between log form and index form. Okay, so please remember this, okay, because this will come up quite a number of times later during our class. Okay, so the question, just cakap ungkapkan y dalam sebutan x. This is basically the answer. Okay, and in our first class last time, we learned that how to change this to this. Okay, because asalkan ada power kan biasanya dia melibatkan log. Okay, which we will talk about later. Alright, question B. I'm going to give you, sorry if I'm blocking, I'm going to give you some time to copy whatever you need to copy while I jot down the graph for question B. The moment you see the axis, you should be able to give me an idea of what the straight line should be like. Okay. This is question B, sorry. Question B, number 2. Okay. So I'm going to run this off. If you didn't get it, you can always look at the video later. My YouTube channel, please subscribe. Wow, I'm become influencer. Okay, so we're looking at this question 2B now. Okay, axis is y and 1 over x. Okay, we can immediately put it into our acuan. Okay. Hi, is everything okay? Sorry. No, I did not die. Oh dear. Do you know that this is recording? So like, sorry, I don't know what happened. No, I paid my internet bill, Tom. Thank you. Okay, is everyone okay? Am I back? Are you guys okay? Okay, can? All right. Sorry for that just now. I don't know what happened. Maybe I'm too loud that my neighbors decided to cut off my internet. I don't know. Okay, sorry, we're coming back to this question now. Okay, so our axis is y and 1 over x. I'm going to put this over here. Y equals to m, we can find later. And this will be 1 over x. Okay, we can see from the graph that the intercept is -2. Okay, so -2. So our problem again in this question is to find the value of the gradient, which can be easily found. Again, you have these two pieces of information that tells you two very important things. One is 5 and 3. This one will be 0 and -2 because it's the y-intercept. So I can find the gradient. Gradient equals to 3 minus -2 over 5 minus 0. Okay, which will give me the value of 1. So substitute the m into here, I'll get y equals to 1 times 1 over x minus 2. Okay, and just to kasih cantik, this is already good enough actually, but if I want to kasih cantik, I'll just do y equals to 1 over x minus 2. And this is our final answer. Question is, ungkapkan y dalam sebutan x. Okay, as long as my kepala rumus is y, just like just now's question, okay, and it's totally fine. Okay, so we can get this up. But the point is this, the point of this exercise is to show you that from the graph, you can actually banyak information you can put in. Okay, as long as you know what is the x and the y-intercept, okay, you can find out basically the rest. Okay, so yeah, so that's that. Okay, before we continue, I just want to mention one thing. Let's say contoh lah, this is a different example. Let's say our gradient is not 1. Let's say our gradient is y equals to 1 over x minus 2. Okay, I'm going to use a different number. Let's say 3. Okay, let's say our gradient is 3. Now, according to our acuan, okay, this makes sense. Our gradient is 3, our y-intercept is -2. Okay, that makes sense. But if I want to kasih cantik betul, okay, as in a complete answer, I need to combine these two together, which will make this y equals to 3 over x minus 2. Because 3 times 1 is 3. Okay, and this will be my final answer. Okay, which means that if I get something in this form, okay, if I get something in this form, I can actually split it up so that it looks like this form. Okay, I'm going to give you another example. Tiada kaitan dengan kita punya soalan, but it's more to do with this. Okay, it's a skill that we need to learn. So for example, if you y equals to -4 over x squared plus 4. Okay, totally doesn't look like this at all because I cannot see what is the m, I cannot see what is the c. Okay, but this one, okay, I can split it up. Okay, I can split it up untuk menjadi y equals to -4 kurungan 1 over x squared plus 4. And this one makes this one look more sensible. Okay, kita punya y-axis adalah y, kita punya x-axis adalah 1 over x squared, kita punya intercept adalah 4, and kita punya kecerunan is -4. Okay, from this I can already kind of see where the graph is heading. This is y, our x-axis is 1 over x squared, okay, and our intercept is 4. The only question left is kita punya graph ini pergi mana? Kanan ke kiri? Okay, we are going to the left because it is negative kecerunan. Okay, so knowing how to change from this into a shape that kita biasa, okay, requires kita mesti tahu lah. Okay, we need to know and remember that we can actually split it up and we can combine it back whenever we need to. Okay, so important skill to learn. All right, let's go to question number 3. Question number 3 in the handout now. Okay, this one. All right, we're going to go to question 3a. Okay, it says, oh dear. Okay, the equations given can be changed into linear form as shown by the straight line graphs. Find the value of P and Q. Okay, this is another skill that we need to learn as well. So I'm going to start with question A. Okay, 3a. So the equation given is x plus p over x equals to qy. Okay, and then kita punya graph yang diberi adalah x and then xy. Okay, we are given these pieces of information. Over here is 6, over here is -2. Oh, sorry. Over here is -2. Okay, so question is, what is the value of p and what's the value of q? So the first thing I want you to do is take a look at the equation and take a look at our axis. Okay, kalau kita ikut, if we forget the equation for a while, we just take a look at our axis. Kalau kita masukkan kita punya axis dalam sini, okay, we can actually, yes, Azhar. Sorry, there's a question. X-axis there, x squared. Yeah. Oh, yes, thank you very much. Oh, thank you. Okay, thank you. X squared, x squared. Okay. Did I miss out anything? Okay. Thank you for telling me. Okay, so once again, let's take a look at our equation first. We forget about this for a while. Okay, we take a look at this first. So, kalau ikut kita punya acuan, I can tell you that this is xy. Okay, equals to, I don't know what is my gradient yet. It's okay, I don't know what's my gradient. But I know that my x-axis is x squared. And my intercept is -2. Okay? But since we have these pieces of information, we can find the gradient. Okay? This coordinate is 0, -2. This coordinate is 6 and 0. I can find my equation, my gradient. So gradient is equals to 0 minus -2 over 6 minus 0, which will give me which will give me 1 over 3. Okay, so saya kasih masuk di sana xy equals to 1 over 3 x squared minus 2. This is my equation for this graph. Okay, question is, how do I kasih sama ini? Because look at this. This and this are totally not the same at all. Okay, so we need to change this so that it looks like this, which was the skill that you learned in the first question. Okay, so let's take a look at this. Oh dear. Why not too small? Okay, x plus p over x equals to q1. Okay, let's take a look. It would make more sense for me to change the qy into xy first. Okay, so how do I change qy into xy? Is I multiply everything by x. Darab semua dengan x. So x times x will be x squared plus p over x times x will just give me p. And qy times x will be qxy. Okay, I'm almost there. I have the xy and the xy over here. I bring the q down, I'll get x squared over q plus p over q equals to qxy. Okay. Because I wanted to look at this one. Oh, sorry, there's no more qxy, sorry, just xy. Okay. Now, let's take a look at this. We are almost there. I'm going to rewrite this again so that you can do a comparison. This is xy equals to x squared over q plus p over q. Okay, almost there. This and this now needs to be settled. Because look, our x squared is actually the axis. So ini kita boleh split. So when we split this, it becomes xy equals to, kalau sini x squared, yang tinggal di sini adalah 1 over q. Okay, plus p over q. Okay. Once we do that, then we can compare xy, xy, x squared, x squared. Therefore, 1 over q equals to 1 over 3. Kalau 1 over q equals to 1 over 3, q must be equals to 3. Okay, so we have the answer already lah. Then, tengok, p over q equals to -2. Okay. P over q equals to -2. Kita sudah ada q. So, p over 3 equals to -2, and p can be easily found. Okay, p equals to 6. I know this is kind of a long way to do it, okay, but I want to continue from where we were, the skill that we were learning earlier lah. Daripada graph, saya bina dulu persamaan. And then I change the original persamaan so that dia mirip, so that I can do a comparison. Okay, because the only way to do this kind of question now is to do a comparison. Okay, you compare the one that you did, and you compare the one that you changed from the original one. Then it becomes the same. Okay, all these skills will become very important when we do paper 2 questions on Thursday. Okay, so all these little skills that will be tested in paper 1. Okay, it will become very important when we do paper 2 questions later. -6. Yes, thank you. I must not have had my breakfast yet. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Okay, sorry, let me take a cup of coffee. Okay. I'm obviously not awake. Wish. Okay. Can? All right. Okay, we're going to do one more question. I want you to try to do question B on your own. Okay, and then we'll talk about question B in our tutorial. If you guys, if there are people that cannot answer question B, okay, we'll do question B during the tutorial. Okay, so I'm gonna go straight to question C, which is the same method. Okay, same method. Cuma okay, question C. So you're given once again, sorry, C, you're given once again a graph, okay, xy against 1 over x. Okay, you're given a graph this way, and you're given the two information over here, 0 and 6. This is 3 and 0. Okay, guys, take a look. Even if it is 0 and 6, it is still the y-intercept. Sorry, what is the answer for what? Jeremiah is asking. What's the answer for B? I'm now answering question C. Oh, Jeremy, sorry. Yeah, B. Okay, the answer for B is P equals to 2, Q equals to 2. Q equals to 4. Okay. Yeah, maybe if you have any questions, you can ask my secretary, Vincent. Vincent can help you to answer. Okay, so coming back to this question, I just want you to note that walaupun dia bukan tertulis satu nombor, this is still the y-intercept. Okay, this is still the y-intercept, and we can always use that information. So I'm going to put this into kita punya acuan, okay, which is xy equals to, I don't know what is my gradient yet, okay, but I know that my x-axis is 1 over x plus 6. Okay, positive 6 lah, because it's a number plus 6. So let's find the gradient first. Gradient is 6 minus 0 over 0 minus 3 to be minus 2. Okay, whenever you get the gradient, take a look at the line and see whether it makes sense. Okay, negative or positive? Memang negative. Okay, Zoom is telling me that my internet connection is unstable. Am I okay? Am I stuck? Am I like robot with everyone? Okay, smooth? Okay, all right. So I can put this over here. So my equation will become xy equals to minus 2, 1 over x plus 6. And just now we learned that this one I can actually combine. Okay. Let me combine and see whether it will help us later. Minus 2 over x plus 6. Okay. Remember, you can go from here to here, you can go from here to here. It's the same thing. Okay. Stuck a bit now. Is it better now? Okay, no response. Never mind. Okay, let's take a look at this one now. Our equation given is y equals to p over x squared plus q over x. Okay, let's take a look at the original equation and take a look at the equation that we built. Dia punya build, the starting is xy. The equation given is y. So in order for us to change from y to become xy, okay, we need to multiply everything by x. Okay, so that this one become xy. This one will become p over x. Okay, if you need something to figure this out, you can figure this out later, and then this will become q. Okay, now take a look at this and take a look at this. Okay, it becomes almost very mirip sudah. From here, if we do a comparison, I can immediately see that my p equals to negative 2 and my q equals to 6. Okay, so the step is the same. Build the equation from the line first. Okay, then you try to change the original equation so that it looks like the equation that you built. Then you can compare. Okay, once you compare, you get the answer p equals to negative 2 and p equals to 6. Okay. Okay, so do try question B on your own. I've given the answer for question B, or at least Liao has given the answer. So You can try it at home and then we'll see how it goes. If you cannot, then we'll figure it out during the tutorial. Okay. All right. Do you have any questions so far? Is everyone okay? Wow, there's 48 of you. I'm so amazed. Thank you for coming, everyone. Okay. Any questions so far? Anything that you're not sure of that you want me to clarify? Kalau ada, either you raise your hand and I will unmute you, or you can just type it out in the chat. Okay. For those of you who are showing me your face, thank you for showing me your face. Okay. For those of you who are not, it's okay. It's okay to be shy. As long as you can see me. My face is the only one that matters. Wow. Okay. Shy cat. Okay. Anything? No? All right, if none, then we're going to go into the questions proper, okay, which is this. All right, I just want to mention that for S2 and for AC, I want you to answer questions 1, 2, and 6 on your own. Okay, not everyone woke up fabulous. Oh, thank you for saying that I'm fabulous. I'm so touched. Okay, so anyway, question number 1, number 2, and number 6 in this soalan berformat. Soalan berformat SPM. 1, 2, and 6 you should be able to answer based on what we've discussed just now. You should be able to answer 1, 2, and 6. So I'm just going to give you the answers, and then you try to do this as your homework. Okay. Number 1. The answer is y equals to negative 1 over x plus y. Number 2, p equals to negative 2, q equals to 15. Okay. Vincent, if there's a mistake, please let me know. Okay, number 6. Number 6 is a little bit tough, but then because it's only difficult because they changed the number. 0.01 and then b is 100. Okay, take some time to jot down the answers, and then I will go into question 3, 4, and 5. A lot of you have problems with question 5, which I will come to in a while. Okay, and you let me take a break for a while you copy this question. So okay, hi everyone, we're back. We're going to go into question number 2, okay, for this. So diagram 3 shows a straight line graph. So once again, let's take a look at the straight line graph. Question number 3. Okay, question number 3. So this is log 10y, okay, against log 10x. How interesting. And then after that, you're given 0, 1, and 6, 4. This is 0 and 1. Then you're given another point 6 and 4. Okay, if you notice, so far, okay, if you notice so far, oh, tidak apa. Kalau kau keluar dan kau masuk balikan, saya tidak nampak juga tu. Okay, so if you notice so far, all our questions, okay, they will always give you the y-intercept and then another point. Okay, so I just want to note that the reason why they give you another point is so that you can find the gradient. Okay, you can find the gradient. So if in this case, let me put it back into our actual y-axis is log 10y. Okay, equals to, I don't know what's my gradient yet, don't worry. My x-axis is log 10x plus my y-intercept is 1. Okay, I'm going to go to the side over here and count the gradient. 4 minus 1 over 6 minus 0. So give me 3 over 6 is 1 over 2. And when you put this as 1 over 2. Okay. Whenever you see a graph like this, immediately try to come up with this first. Okay, and then we'll talk about the rest later. Alright, so dia cakap, find the value of x when log 10y equals to 3. Okay, this is very important. Log 10y equals to 3, which means the whole thing is equals to 3. Okay, there is a tendency for students, when they see the word 3, then they write log 10 3. Like, hello, no. Okay, that's y. they are telling you that log 10y, the whole thing equals to 3. Okay, so when I substitute, I won't substitute log 10 3, no, I will substitute 3 equals to half log 10x plus 1. Okay, this thing that I'm mentioning now becomes very important in paper 2. Okay, especially when you're finding for values. Okay, it is a place where 60% of students make mistake. Okay, they forget that log 10y is the axis. So kasi masuk saja. Okay, it is no longer y and x anymore. Okay, we'll come to that later on. All right, let's find the value of x. Okay, so 3 minus 1 is 2 equals to 1 over 2 log 10x. Okay, bring the 2 up, so we get 4 equals to log 10x. Okay, I'm going to switch this over so that it makes a little bit more sense. Log 10x equals to 4. Now, if you remember, this is log form. Log form changed to index form will be x is equals to 10 to the power of 4. And 10 to the power of 4 is 10,000. Okay, can the number be this big? Can. Okay, because it's x, it's not log 10x. Okay, x is, I mean, this graph is a totally different graph altogether. X equals to 10 to the power of 4. Totally different graph altogether. Okay, so don't worry about the number being very big. You may get sometimes 10 to the power of 8. It's okay. Yes, Jeremy. Waiting for type. It's cannot times 2 first kan, baru tolak 1. Can. Can? Okay, Jeremy's question is, why don't we multiply 2 first and then we tolak 1? Okay, yes, you can do that. Okay, I'm going to change color, so alternative. Okay, kalau alternative, Jeremy is saying, why don't we multiply everything by 2 first? Can. Okay, 3 times 2 is 6. 6 equals to log 10x. Okay, plus 1 times 2 is 2. Okay, I will still get 4 equals to log 10x. I will still get the same thing. Okay, so it doesn't matter which order you do. You can, I mean, I choose to do minus 1 first because dia paling jauh daripada log 10x. But if you want to do multiply by 2, also can. Okay, for those of you who are not asking this question, if you find that this is complicated, just ignore. Okay, stick to the original one. Okay, I'm going to go into question B. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to go to question B. I'm going to leave this here. Okay, the rest you can refer to the video later. All right. So they are asking the value of A, okay, the value of A and the value of N, if the relationship between X and Y can be expressed in the form of Y equals to A X to the power of N. Okay. So this is something that we did earlier. Okay, we're changing from this. We are from log Y, yada, yada, yada. This is the linear form. We're changing back into the non-linear form. Okay, so this takes a little bit of skill. And everything that you learn when we were studying index and log becomes very useful here. Okay, so in order for me to do this, log 10y equals to half log 10x plus 1. Okay, the first thing I need to do is I need to bring this half up top. So log 10y equals to log 10x to the power of half, okay, plus 1. Okay, and then the thing is this, I want to change from log 10y to y. Okay, I want to hilangkan the log 10 now. But I cannot hilangkan if there's still a 1 at the back here because this 1 got no friend, no log 10. Okay, but if you remember from our chapter in log last time, okay, 1 is actually, if our base is 10, okay, this will be log 10x to the power of half. 1 is actually log of the same base and the same number. Okay, ini fakta ini ya. Okay, nothing to understand here, it's just a fact. If your base is 10, then 1 is log 10, 10. If your base is 2, contohnya lah, if your base is 2, then this will be log 2, 2. Okay, if your base is 4, then this will be log 4, 4. Okay, always remember that 1 is always the same as this. When we have this, then we can combine this. So this will be log 10y equals to log n. Because the operation is plus, I can multiply these two together. This will be x to the power of half times 10. Yeah, sorry. I'm going to combine it this way. 10 x to the power of half. Okay, same thing. 10 darab x to the power of half, or x to the power of half darab 10. Okay, in which case, I can finally get rid of the log. Okay, I can finally anti-log both, so I get y equals to 10x to the power of half. Compare this and compare this. Okay, and I can say that a equals to 10, x equals to half. Oh, sorry, n. N equals to half. Okay. So maybe at this stage you're wondering, yeah, I should have paid more attention to Sir when we were studying index and log at the end of last year. And I said, yeah, Lord, I also think that you should have paid more attention instead of remembering the story of the mystery bola ping pong hijau, which I don't remember whether anyone of you remember. But yeah, okay. So this is the reason why I chose to answer this question. Okay, because of all these log skills that you need to remember. Okay, but don't worry. This log skill is actually very important. But I think if you do enough questions, you'll find that after a while the pattern is the same. Okay, kasi combine semua, then you can hilangkan the log. Okay? At this stage, guys, at this stage, you cannot hilangkan the log because there's no log in this one. Okay? At this stage, you also cannot hilangkan the log because the log is separated by the plus. Only when there is one sebutan on each side. When you have combined the logs on the right side, then you can hilangkan the log. Okay, all this log stuff. Okay, all right. I'm going to go into question 4. Okay, question 4. Yeah, don't worry, you can copy this later from the video that I will post. Okay. Question 4, same thing. Okay, we are given this graph. Okay, the axis is x, y, and x squared. Am I right? Sorry, x, y, and x squared. Okay, then you're given, this is where it becomes very interesting. Okay, this is 0 and 5p. Okay, and then you're not given anything else apart from that. Okay, you're just given one point here, which is q, big. Then this is point p. Okay, then you're given the equation. Okay, you're given the equation. The variables x and y are related by the equation. 2y equals to 3 plus k x plus 8 over x. Okay, and that's it. Okay, and then dia ini menjadi linear when we change it into this form. This is a non-linear equation, guys, because if we take a look at the axis, langsung tidak mirip. Okay, which means that this is a non-linear equation. Bila sudah kena tukar, dia jadi macam ni. Okay, so the first thing we need to do, even before answering anything, let's just form the linear equation first. Okay, ikut kita punya this one. With whatever information that we have. Don't worry about whatever information that's not there. Okay, so y-axis is xy. Okay, equals to, do I know what is the gradient? I don't. Okay, but don't be scared. Saya tulis m saja. Our x-axis is x squared. And I know that my y-intercept is 5p. It's okay. Put it as 5p. 5p lah. Okay, as long as, you know, we take the first step first. Okay, you know what they say lah, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. So let's start with the first step. Okay. Now, we look at the question. Question says, express the equation blah, 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 blah in its linear form, which is used to obtain this straight line. Okay, so basically, we want to change this shape into this shape. Okay, take a look. Let's start with the left side. The one that is representing this is xy. The original equation is 2y. So how do we change this to become xy? We need to get rid of the 2 and we need to put in the x inside. Okay, so let's choose which one to do first. I suggest that we put in the x first. Okay, so I multiply everything by x. So I get 2xy equals to 3 plus k x times x is x squared. Okay, yang di depan sini kita kasih dia aja. Okay, plus 8 over x times x will just give you 8. Okay. Now we're not there yet. Okay, this is xy. I don't want 2xy. So we get rid of the 2. Bahagi semua dengan 2. Divide everything by 2. Okay? And then we see what happens. 2xy divided by 2 will be xy. Alright, I'm going to change color so that you can see the contrast. Okay? 3 plus k x squared divided by 2 is whatever it is now. 3 plus k x squared divided by 2. 8 divided by 2 is 4. Okay? Now, take a look at the shape that we've changed and take a look at the shape that we built from the equation. When you compare, you can immediately tell me a few things. Okay? Okay, you can immediately tell me a few things. You can immediately tell me what is P actually. Okay, if I compare this, 5P equals to 4. Okay? So therefore, P equals to 4 over 5 or 0.8. Okay. Even without looking at question D, actually I'm answering question D already. This is the answer for question A. Okay, I'm going to question B already. I compare these two, I get 5P equals to 4. Okay. Then let's take a look at the question. Look at question B. Question B says, given the gradient is negative 2.5. Okay, this makes our job much easier. Okay, our gradient is negative 2.5. Therefore, if I write this again, xy equals to negative 2.5 x squared plus 5p. Okay. Compare this and compare this. Negative 2.5 x squared. 3 plus k over 2 x squared. Okay, I separate out the x squared, I get this one. So therefore, 3 plus k over 2 equals to negative 2.5. Can I find k? Can. Okay, this is simple mathematics. Okay, I'm not going to do the whole thing. I'm just going to give you the final answer. K equals to negative 8. Okay. So, even if such a complicated question like this, our basic skill is still the same. Okay, we still need to form the equation from the line first. It is the most, important step for me. Okay, because once you have built this one, then you can do whatever you want with the original equation. Okay, so always do this skill first. You see the line, build the equation. See the line, build the equation first. Then you will always notice that it's always just a matter of comparison between the line that you build and the equation that they given. Okay, then you can find all this yada. All right. Okay. Right, let's go into question 5. Wow. This is going faster than I expected. I thought that by now it will be almost 12 o'clock, only to realize that it's only 11 o'clock. So maybe we can go to the canteen. Yeah, go to the canteen, but the canteen is just at your kitchen. Okay. I'm going to go on to question number 5. Okay, just to remind you, the answer just now, P equals to 0.8 and K equals to negative 8. Here's the final answer. Okay. While you're doing, I'm just going to copy down question 5 first. Okay. So question 5, question 5 is a little bit unique. Actually, it's a simple comparison, but let's take a look. So this is diagram 5a shows the curve of y equals to 3x squared minus 7. Okay, and then diagram 5b shows a straight line obtained when this equation is expressed in linear form. Ini sudah kena tukar. Okay, and then the linear form is y axis equals to minus 7 x axis plus c. Okay, then we want to express x and y in terms of the x-axis in terms of this one. So what the question is basically asking is, what is the x-axis and what is the y? Oh, sorry. I'm going to draw big y, y-axis. This is basically what the question is asking. What is the x-axis? What is the y-axis? Okay, notice I'm drawing it with the big letter. Kalau yang ikut kita punya acuan dulu kan, is one is red color, one is green color. Okay, so you need to, kind of like, bukan x and y saja, it's actually x-axis and y-axis. Because in linear law, the x-axis and the y-axis can be anything. Daripada log lah, kepada xy lah, kepada 1 over x squared lah, can be anything. Okay, so we generalize it by saying x-axis and y-axis. Okay, so, take a look at this. From this information, okay, this is y equals to negative 7x plus c. From this graph, you can tell me what is c already. Okay, c is actually 3. So I'm going to put this in here. Y-axis equals to negative 7, x-axis plus 3. Okay, just to complete this whole thing. Okay, so my question now is, my original equation is y equals to 3x squared minus 7. Okay, and I need to have this x-axis over here. Okay, so how do I change this so that it looks something like this? Okay, so if you take a look at the number 3 here, originally the other 3x squared. Once we tukar, then we find that the 3 is alone. Okay, there's no more x squared next to it. So the question is, what happened to the x squared? Okay, the x squared actually kena bahagi. So explore. Bahagi x squared. If I throw away the x squared from here, this one will become y over x squared equals to 3 minus 7 over x squared. Okay, I bahagi everything so that my 3 is alone. Okay, now I'm going to change this so that I can put the 3 in the back. Y over x squared equals to minus 7 over x squared plus 3. So that it looks something like this. Okay, sorry. So it looks almost the same. Now when you see that it looks almost the same, you can tell me what is the big Y already. The y-axis is actually y over squared. Okay. What about the x-axis? Take a look at this and this. Okay. Remember what I said about this earlier? Negative 7 over x squared. I can actually split it up to become negative 7 and then 1 over x squared. Okay. Therefore, look, negative 7, then this one must be 1 over x squared. And this is our two answers for this one. Basically, the model upper y-axis kita, which is y over x squared, sorry. Okay, and upper x-axis kita, which is 1 over x squared. Okay, which means kalau saya ganti ini paksi, this is y over x squared. This is 1 over x squared. Okay, that's basically what the question is asking. Okay. But we still don't run away from that same step that we learned since 10 o'clock just now. Okay, which is cari dia punya persamaan dahulu, and then you need to compare. Change the original one so that it looks like the new one, and then you compare. Okay, this is a very important skill as you go along in paper 1 questions. Okay, so we're done with handout 1. Okay, I just want to remind you that there are 4 questions in here which I have assigned to be as your homework. Okay, please take your time and try to answer these questions because with the answers given. And then if you are not sure how to answer these questions, we will discuss these questions during the tutorial. Okay. Hi Putri, it's okay, you're late, but we already finished paper 1. Sorry, we already finished handout 1. And I'm going to go into handout 2, but my concern is banyak orang tiada handout 2. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a break. Okay, we're going to take a break for maybe about 5 to 10 minutes. Let me snap the picture of handout 2, and then I'll send it into your various groups right now. Okay, so let's take a break. If you want to go and take a cup of coffee, you want to makan lagi, but please don't take so long to eat. Okay, don't take forever in the canteen. Who is dying? I am dying or you are dying? Oh, from lag. Sorry, am I lagging? No? Okay. All right. It's probably lagging because there's 50 people in this group. But it's okay. All right.